Hey, you ever feel like you're not good enough? Why you keep feeling this way no matter how hard you try? Let me ask you a question. Do you ever get to the end of the day and just feel disappointed with yourself? Not because you necessarily messed anything up, not because you were lazy, but because something inside of you says, man, you could have done better. You could have done more. You should have been better. You're still not enough. If you know that voice, it's not random and you're not alone. And it's not coming out of thin air. There's a reason it's so loud. I was counseling with someone recently. The person's a great spouse, great parent, consistent, hardworking, loves God. And they said, like, Josh, no matter how much I do, no matter how I feel, I'm always behind. I feel like I'm disappointing everyone all the time, no matter what decision I make. And honestly, I'm probably disappointing God too. And I just sat there thinking, man, this is so many of us. We hit the deadlines, we pay the bills, we handle our responsibilities, we show up for everyone else. But the moment our heads are on the pillow at night, the moment we're finally alone with our thoughts, that weight settles back into our chest again. That old belief that I'm still not enough. And here's the part that almost no one explains. That feeling probably didn't start in your adulthood. It started way back in the story. Today I want to help you understand where that belief came from, why it still has such a grip on your emotions, and how it affects your choices. And most importantly, how the Spirit begins to heal it. Because you see, this isn't a small issue. This actually shapes everything about your life and your view of God. It affects your marriages, your friendships, your parenting, your work. And most people don't realize it. But you learn this belief that I'm not enough from real life experiences. And often from people who never meant to harm you, or maybe they were just operating out of their own distorted beliefs. Sometimes it came from a parent whose expectations were impossible to meet. Maybe you were only praised when you performed well, or maybe you were compared with your siblings or friends or your classmates. Maybe you lived in an emotionally distant home, where you were part of a church culture obsessed with performance and mask wearing. Maybe you had childhood moments where you felt invisible or overlooked. Could even be a relationship that made you feel replaceable. Always being the responsible one. That's another big one. None of these moments seem major at the time. But see, your brain is always learning, and it learns extremely fast. So early on, it creates this belief template like love has to be earned. I'm valuable only when I'm helpful. If I disappoint people, they'll reject me and pull away. If I relax, something bad will happen, so I have to hold everything together by myself. If I don't perform well, I'll lose connection with this person. If I'm not perfect, I'm in danger. In other words, I'm valuable only when I perform well. And here's the honest truth, that your brain didn't choose these beliefs. It actually absorbed them. It thought it was protecting you. It thought it was keeping you safe and helping you survive. But this is what psychology calls cognitive distortions. And basically, there's survival beliefs that outlive their purpose in your life. And they don't just sit in your mind. They actually become the way you see everything. They become the lens which you look at life through. I mean, imagine wearing glasses with scratches on them. They're all scratched up. Eventually, you stop noticing the scratches, but everything you see is now shaped by that. That's how distorted beliefs work. If your lens is, I'm not enough, then everything you look at becomes proof of that belief. You can serve your family all day, still feel guilty. You could accomplish a huge task, still feel like it wasn't impressive. You can spend time with God and still feel spiritually behind. You can even do something kind, still feel like you could have done more. You could still feel like you missed something. Not because you failed, but because the lens interprets even the good things as not enough. This is why the belief is so powerful, because it frames your entire story through a wound. You're not seeing truth. You're seeing lies through lenses. Stephen Covey wrote in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said, we're not as objective as we think. We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we've been conditioned to see it. In other words, our lenses are the result of us being conditioned. So when you experience something that makes you feel like you're not enough, you've been conditioned into that belief. You're not seeing accurate. You are convinced that you are not enough, and so you feel like you're objective, and your objective belief in that is that you're not enough, but that's because you've been conditioned to see that. And then your emotions respond in disruptive ways. And this is where things get really tough. See, your emotions are not the enemy. They aren't proof that you're weak. They aren't signs that you're failing spiritually. They aren't bad in and of themselves. Your emotions are responders. They're not rulers. They're not authority. They're not even villains. They respond to whatever beliefs you carry. If the belief is, I'm not enough, then the emotions will echo it with things like anxiety, guilt, shame, insecurity, self-doubt, emotion, exhaustion, resentment. Numbness is another one. Irritability. These emotions aren't random storms. They're signals. They're indicators that something inside of you needs some attention. It needs some healing. For most men, we cover these things up with anger, which is a secondary emotion. But emotions are like dash lights for us guys. Not threats, not enemies. They're simply indicators. And ignoring them isn't going to fix them. Shaming them won't quiet them down. Pushing them down only makes them come out sideways. See, disruptive emotions lead to dysfunctional patterns. And this is the cycle almost no one talks about. The distorted beliefs, the belief that I'm not good enough no matter what I do, create disruptive emotions. I'm angry that I'm not enough. That drives dysfunctional life choices and decisions. So we need to medicate. We need to become workaholics. We need to chronically shop. We need to go engage in something to make me feel like I am enough. And that's us responding in dysfunction. But here's what it looks like in real life. Feeling unworthy. You overcommit until you burn out. Feeling like a disappointment. Now you shut down and withdraw. Feeling like you must earn love. You become a people pleaser. Feeling anxious, you try to control everything. Feeling shame, you hide your struggles. If you're feeling not enough, you hustle, you grind, you self-sacrifice until you're empty, and every one of those choices becomes your proof that the belief was right. So you repeat the cycle: distortion, emotion, behavior, distortion, deeper emotion, deeper behavior. This is why this issue affects everything about us. It affects our marriages, our parenting, our friendships, our spiritual life, our work habits, our intimacy, our identity. Triggered emotions reveal the place where God wants to heal. And this is the most important thing you'll hear today. That your triggered emotions are not attacks. They're invitations. Every time you feel insecurity, shame, guilt, fear, self-hatred, inadequacy, that sinking, heavy feeling of being not enough, that emotion is pointing at a deeper wound that God wants to restore. The emotion isn't the problem. It's the signal that your soul is saying, hey, something needs some attention here. Something needs some attention from God. It needs truth. So go to the Spirit with those distortions. This is where healing begins, not by fixing yourself, but by bringing the distortion to the Spirit. Here's the prayer begins to change these things. Is Spirit, what emotion is this tied to? What belief is this emotion tied to? Show me the lie, this feeling that I'm responding to. Help me know the truth. Guide me into the truth of who I am. And when you bring your emotions to God, not hide them, not shame them, not suppress them, He begins speaking truth into those distortions. And this is how lenses start to change. I'm failing becomes, I'm growing. I'm alone becomes, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not enough becomes, hey, I'm actually deeply loved. I'm disappointing God becomes, He doesn't expect perfection. See, the Spirit doesn't shame your emotions. He actually shepherds them. The real reason why you feel not enough is because you're interpreting a healed life with a wounded lens. You're in a new season with old beliefs. You're living in God's grace, but still wearing childhood glasses. And those lenses were never meant to define your worth or your value. So here's the shift you need to make right now. Stop treating your emotions as enemies. Start treating them as indicators of what God wants to heal in you. Stop letting those old lenses decide your value and start letting the Spirit reshape how you see yourself. Stop trying to become enough through your performance and start resting in the identity God already gave you. So tonight, when that heavy feeling hits you, don't power through it. Don't brush it off. Don't shame yourself. Instead, say, you know what? This emotion is a signal. Lord, what are you trying to address in me? Let that prayer become your new habit. Let the Spirit speak truth where the distortion lives. We're told that the Spirit is our counselor. So go to the Spirit. If not enough has been the background noise of your life, if you've carried that weight for years, you need to hear this. You're not failing. You're not a failure. You're healing. You're on a journey with Jesus. You're unlearning these lies that never belonged to you in the first place. You're becoming who God always intended you to be. And you don't have to carry this alone. This channel is here to help you rebuild these sorts of things, emotionally, spiritually, relationally. So, friends, you are enough. You are loved, you're chosen, you're wanted, even in the places that still hurt. Hey, if this was helpful, pay it forward and share it with someone you know may be stuck in this cycle also. Stick around for more. We'll see you next one.